What's a modern-day poison people willingly ingest? What's the worst part of having a child? How the bloody hell do you flirt with men? You know, I typed this into Google a few weeks ago. Stop being subtle. Be direct. Unfortunately, my brain won't let me do that. Any other tips? Challenge them to a game of rock, paper, scissors. Say the loser has to ask the winner on a date. This could work, but they might also hear what you have to do if you win and not play. Be honest and direct. Unless you want to see another, "This girl was flirting with me and I had no idea," post on Reddit in about 10 years. Just start talking about anything. We often like to talk to women. You can bring a cool-looking rock and that will work. Actually, cool rocks are worthy trade for most things. Redditors who have actually won a lifetime supply of something, what was the supply you won and how long did it actually last? I know someone who won a free gas for life contest many years ago. They got a $100 gift card every month. That's actually not terrible. My dad won a lifetime supply of cat food, but A, they delivered it all at once, and B, our cats didn't like that flavor. Of course. We donated it all to a local animal shelter who were super pleased. One free movie rental from Blockbuster every week. And, well, you know, when you get a lifetime supply of something, you never really expect to outlive the life of the product. I won a year's worth of Tombstone pizza from a Coca-Cola bottle cap thing as a kid. They sent 52 coupons to use at the grocery store for a free pizza. I mean, that kind of checks out, but only 52? Come on. I won the Cash for Life $1,000 a week lottery about 10 years ago. Every year I send them proof I'm still alive, and they send me a check for $52,000 in the mail. Oh my god. Why can't I have this? I won a year's worth of coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. They gave me a coupon book with 4 coupons per month for 12 months. It's something. I once won a year's supply of Pepsi from a local radio station. The contest was finding specific serial numbers on a dollar bill and being the first to call into the station. The year's supply was a case. Wait, just one lousy case of Pepsi? I think that's kind of a scam. I won free Arby's for a year. They sent me $420 in gift cards. I don't know if that mathematically adds up to 1 sandwich a day, but that is just a perfect number. Has anyone ever been to a wedding where someone actually objected? And if so, how did that go? Went to a wedding where they skipped that part because the bride's adult daughter was planning to object. I'm not a wedding expert, but you can just skip certain parts of the ceremony? My auntie's fiance was already married. Lady stood up waving marriage cert, so wedding didn't go ahead. The reception was on a long boat, so we still went to that. The fiance went back to home country to sort it out and never came back. I went to a wedding where the best man was replaced a week before because he banged the bride, but the wedding still went ahead just with a different best man. They are divorced now. Yeah, that's just a waste of money at that point. I objected. I took giving my sister away literally. I wasn't the brightest 3-year-old. Aw, I mean, you were 3 years old. It was probably cute and everybody laughed. I was at one where the groom thanked the bride's ex for dying as his loss was my gain. Didn't help the sons of his bride and ex were in attendance. Oh, buddy, no, you don't do that. In my cousin's wedding, her friend said, "I object," because she was not invited to the wedding. She was kicked out of the wedding. Attending a wedding where the minister said something along the lines of, "If anyone here objects to this marriage, you can keep your mouth shut. Today is not about you." What's something popular that you refuse to get into? I'm a new mom, and there's so many stupid mom trends right now, but one of them is the natural looking toys with really bland colors that are more aesthetic. They're toys. The sad beige moms and their sad beige babies. Celebrity worship. You can be a fan of a celebrity, just don't check on what they're doing 24 hours a day and maybe go touch some grass. Lip injections. Not shaming people who get plastic surgery or lip injections, whatever. I just think it's not worth it if you have to go and get them redone after a while because they start sagging and looking bad. Annoying/pranking people for viral videos. If the prank is harmless and people all get along with it, sure, but if you're purposefully harassing people in public as a prank, die. Collecting Funko Pops. Look, I get it. They might go up in value in the future, but hear me out, they're kind of gross. Credit card debt. Yeah, I'd never do that. Oh. Chatting with AI characters. League of Legends. You are stronger than most. What annoys the F out of you? Trash less than 2 feet from trash can. When you see that, you know it was a deliberate choice. Fake X on ads. It makes me lose my mind when it is an actual X, but then it just opens a second ad for you anyways. People who get on the train before allowing people off. I will stand in your way until you get out of my way so I can get off the effing train. Obnoxiously bright headlights. Look, I get it. For you, maybe you can see, but for me, I'm blind in every single mirror. People who still try to act like a high school bully well into adulthood. Drivers who pull out in front of you on the road when they clearly didn't have enough time. It might be like a panic response, but I cannot stand it when they do this and then they just stop, like almost guaranteeing a crash. Speakerphone conversation / TikTok videos on public transport. Just never do it. If you're in public, headphones only. When I just put on fresh socks and then step on a drop of water. People who get off an escalator that stop and look around. Totally okay to stop and look around because you don't know where you're going, but get out of the way. People who get in their cars but then take ages to drive away. What are you doing in there? Replying to the "could you get ice cream" text my wife sent after I already checked out. Pre-flight checks. This is a really fun way of describing it. I think I'm gonna use this from now on. Having an existential crisis in a Walmart parking lot. Who doesn't, honestly? I have to turn the stereo on and off 16 times or the world will end. People with kids. Getting some me time. You know, my roommate does that too. He just sits in his car once he gets home. I should probably talk with him. Enjoying my prime parking spot just a little longer. What is something people describe as healthy, but it's actually unhealthy? Juice cleanses. No fiber or anything. Just straight up sugar water. Being yourself. Even when you are an a-hole and your actions adversely affect others, people have stopped being considerate and kind. The belief that if a product contains no man-made chemicals, it must be healthy. Arsenic, cyanide, and a multitude of other substances are natural and yet can kill you. Detox / cleanse regimens. Having perfectly white teeth. It's not a sign of healthy, but scrubbed, chemically treated, or outright sanded teeth. Fat-free. This term usually hides the fact that it's fattening. Overusing antibiotics. How do you overuse antibiotics unless you're doing some nefarious acts and stealing from the doctor? Complaining about every possible thing and calling it venting. Just sounds sus to me. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I said that. What is something you deeply regret doing as a child that still affects you to this day? Probably not talking about my feelings a lot. I'm probably fine. Being so mean to my younger sister in our childhood. I often wonder how much I contributed to her current mental health struggles. It eats me alive some days. In middle school, I jumped from the top of a slide and landed flat on the bottom, hurting my back. Pretty sure I've never recovered. Falling into the trap of, if I don't ask for too much, maybe I can get what I need. Oh, that one hurts. I feel you there. Giving my knees floor burn for fun. I don't have a clue why I thought it was fun. Now they are in an awful state and completely covered in scars. Well, yeah, you were just scraping your skin off. Not applying myself more in my studying in high school. Ignoring my dad all the times he'd try to teach me things like car maintenance, home repair, etc. before I stopped speaking to him. What is the best response to, what the F is your problem? Like right now or just in general? Take a deep breath, thank them for their concern, and actually start talking about your problems. All of them. Think of it like free therapy. If they try to flee from you, don't worry. They're just trying to help you with some added exercise therapy. Just give chase and continue to shout your problems at them until you have them cornered and finish, or you feel better. Thank them again and go about your day as the happier, less burdened individual. How much time do you have? I had 2 coworkers do this to me today. I responded with, at the moment, you two. Break down crying. It's a power move and relieves stress. Usually it's a-holes. Best response is to say, oh, didn't I tell you? When they say no, respond with, then it must not be any of your business. Hemorrhoids? That'll shut them up real quick. If someone offered you a box of everything you ever lost, what would you look for first? Oh god, I mean, half the things I've lost, I've forgotten about, so I don't know. The issue is that I can't recall what I've lost. See, they get it. My nose. Like WTF, some guy stole it at my 3rd birthday. Never got it back. My cat, though he ran away 30 years ago. Mom's silver necklace that I, as a teen, gave to someone I thought I was close to but wasn't. Never saw the person or the necklace again. If anything, it just sounds like you got robbed. I'm so sorry. The box I lost that had everything in it. As a guitarist, florist, all of my effing pics. I always know where I put them and then they just disappear. The time I spent on my ex. Oh, buddy, I'm sorry, you're never getting that back. High school sketchbook full of emo, edgy drawings. I would want that for the nostalgia factor and then immediately burn it because I know nothing I made would be good enough to show people. I still think about the SpongeBob wallet with $20 in it I lost when I was 8. What's the best response to May the 4th be with you? I'm Orthodox. I celebrate on May 25th. I know. Look, that's the best you're getting out of me, okay? I'm not Chewbacca. I love Star Trek too. And also with you. I don't like Lord of the Rings that much. I am your father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate. Pretend you didn't hear them. This does end up leaving the other party a little bit uncomfortable, but it doesn't really matter because you're not paying attention to them. Frank Sinatra said, "The best revenge is massive success." What's a real-life example of this? George Lucas got the ownership of the toy rights to Star Wars because they don't think it would be successful. He made an absolute killing on these. The guy who invented Ring cameras went on Shark Tank and was rejected by everyone. They all thought it would fail. Well, you know the rest. What were the sharks thinking? What, they thought nobody would want home security cameras? Ron McNair had the police called on him when he was little because he was black and reading in a library. He grew up to be an astronaut and the library he was kicked out of was later named after him. Okay, now that is what I like to see. Yes, yes, yes! Brendan Fraser getting the Oscar this year after being blacklisted from Hollywood for over a decade for speaking out about being sexually assaulted. Jennifer Hudson lost American Idol and became more successful than the winner. When Lady Gaga was in college, some of her classmates had a Facebook group called Stephanie Germanotta, You'll Never Be Famous. Pretty sure she proved them wrong. Just imagine being those classmates and having to live with the fact that you were so wrong, so hard. Harlan Ellison sent every writing award he received to one of his old professors that said he'd never be successful. Oh, it's just such a perfect way of rubbing their nose in it, like, oh, this award? Yeah, I won it. It's mine. Blockbuster laughed baby Netflix out of the room with their idea. Then later, grown-up Netflix killed Blockbuster. While I do enjoy the convenience of Netflix having movies just whenever, I miss going to Blockbuster and just aimlessly looking through the aisles. Which movie can be identified by a single quote? I am your father. Oh god, that's a tough one. There's a lot of movies with dads. Hakuna Matata. I love Finding Nemo. God, it's so good. Who you gonna call? I don't know. I can't remember phone numbers. This is Sparta! No, this is Patrick. You're a wizard, Harry. Love it when Gandalf says that. Why so serious? Say hello to my little friend. Godfather, so good. Love that movie. Here's Johnny. Hot take here, you can cancel me if you want. The Shining is boring. What are some mysteries that have actually been solved? Bermuda Triangle turns out to have the expected number of mishaps at sea given the amount of shipping that traverses it. The bloop sound that was recorded in the Pacific Ocean that baffled scientists was finally found to be an ice quake. Oh, that one kind of sucks to learn. I thought it would be like a cool undiscovered animal. How to make gold from lead. Hundreds of years the alchemists tried it unsuccessfully. Today it is possible using a particle accelerator. However, it is far from cost efficient. Mining gold is orders of magnitudes cheaper. Whether the Titanic sank in one piece or not, many discounted those survivors who said they saw her split in two because they had a hard time believing such a mighty ship could rip apart like that. It wasn't until Ballard and his crew found her that the truth was revealed. You know, mildly insane that people just didn't believe the survivors of a shipwreck that, oh yeah, the ship broke in half. We saw it with our eyes. Torosaurus was actually a mature Triceratops. Nanotyrannus was a baby T-Rex. Stygimoloch and Dracorex are younger Pachycephalosaurus skeletons. Anatotitans was a grown-up Edmontosaurus, and I think there was a few others just because baby dinosaurs looked drastically different than adults. I'm gonna need the science and dinosaur community to make easier names. The mystery of Mary Toft. In 1726, a woman in England claimed to have given birth to rabbits. While it was believed to be a medical mystery at the time, it was later discovered that the rabbits had been inserted into her womb by a local surgeon. Ew, why? For fame? Why? Depressed people of Reddit, what are your hobbies that keep you sane? Washing dishes on a regular basis so I don't don't go insane from the sink clutter and blasting my favorite music so I remember how to be a human. Crocheting. It's repetitive, calming, creative, and you get the feeling of at least a bit of productivity. Reading fiction, which kind of sounds counterproductive to sanity. So much guitar. Video games always helped me escape the depressing real world. Long walks and music. I recently started wood carving. It's calming and pretty fun. So far, I've made a little duck. Looking at the ceiling is just the best hobby, especially if you do it for a solid 6 hours straight. What is the one thing you do each Monday morning that helps you get through the day? I put a fake meeting in my calendar for every Monday so nobody can book me in some BS meeting before noon, so I can get through the 1,000 emails received since Friday. Oh my god, that actually sounds genius. Everybody write that down. That's actually useful. Only 5 more days. If you say it to yourself in the mirror 30 times, you'll maybe start to believe it. As a therapist, I make my own schedule. I intentionally don't schedule anything until the afternoon on Monday. I can relax a bit, get some paperwork done, and ease into the week. Drink a tall glass of water. I should probably start doing that. I am not, healthy. Decide what the 3 most important things that must be done today are. Then focus only on those things. Brings a sense of accomplishment and eases an anxious, overwhelmed mind. Remind myself it's another day. Don't give up. Pour myself a cup of ambition. Is it followed by yawning and stretching and trying to come alive? What is the dumbest controversy of the last 10 years? Flat Earth crap. I thought people were just arguing for it for the memes till I met an actual flat earther. It is unfortunate that people do still believe that in our Lord's year of 2023. Changing the shoes of an animated M&M. Who cares what it's wearing? It's an advertisement for candy. The people who got bent out of shape about it are weird. Jade Helm. The idea that Obama was going to invade, conquer, and occupy Texas like it was France and turn it into part of his own personal empire and do it with just 1,200 troops. Oh my lord, I didn't know that these conspiracies went that far back. The COVID vaccine gives you 5G. That one is true. I've been getting really good reception in my brain recently. The blue gold dress. I still can't tell you if I just saw 2 different pictures that people kept editing or if I gaslit myself into believing I could see one or the other. Storm Area 51. They can't stop all of us. I think the dumbest part was when people actually showed up. No, the dumbest part is when other people didn't show up because then they could stop the small amount of people that did gather. Birds aren't real. Australia isn't real. COVID isn't real. Vaccine causes autism. The list is quite large. Okay, but admittedly, one of those is true. I still have yet to see Australia on a map. What was normal 20 to 30 years ago, but is considered a luxury now? New furniture made out of real wood. It always looks so nice. Why does it have to be expensive? Owning the software you purchased. I will never forgive Adobe for switching to a subscription service. Not being expected to be reachable 24/7. The amount of freedom there must have been so nice. Paying no more than 30% on your income in rent. I'm pretty sure I pay somewhere close to 70% of my income towards all of my bills and rent, so it's not going good right now. Concert ticket prices. It's a little ludicrous how some tickets will cost $300 for, 3 hours of a show? Retirement plan built into your job. See, corporations figured out if we make everyone part-time, we don't have to give anyone benefits. Getting things repaired instead of buying new. Privacy. I sort of understand what you mean, but you might also be the same person that thinks the government is spying specifically on you 24/7, which they're probably not. To you Redditors aged 50 plus, what's something you genuinely believe young people haven't realized yet, but could enrich their lives or positively impact their outlook on life? Marriage/relationship should be fun and happy. Life is hard. Things get tough. Find someone that makes the tough times easier, not harder. Not everything that you disagree with deserves an argument. Pick your battles and let trivial things slide. Unless you don't mind hearing like all the time, day and night. Use hearing protection in loud situations. Tinnitus is a bitch. If you die, your employer will have your job posted before you are buried. Remember that one when making work/life choices. Everybody's effed up. It's what you do after that matters. Wear sunscreen. Ugh, you sound like my dang mom. Take care of your body. Exercise. Keep your weight reasonable and keep the bad habits in moderation. It really does make a difference later in life. People who wake up at 5 a.m. daily, why? My cat politely lays on my neck until I wake up. Do you think I'm doing this on purpose? I mean, I kinda did. Calm down. My job is an hour away, and I still need about an hour to cry in the shower. Can't help it. I naturally wake up around then. I like it, TBH. Everyone else is mostly asleep too, so it's a peaceful way to enjoy a coffee and wake up at your pace. My gluttonous cat. Interesting that it's around 5 a.m. Our cats like to start screaming around 3. Dogs can't seem to understand. We sleep in on the weekends. Kids. Honestly, that's a perfect advertisement to not have them. What obvious thing did you recently realize? That Men's Warehouse is a pun. Oh, see, I don't see it at all. You should have explained how. That birds don't live in nests. Nests are just where they keep their eggs. Birds just sleep in trees. That they call it footage because film is measured in feet. Oh my god, that makes perfect sense actually. That there is a typo on my email in my resume. Somehow it went unnoticed for 6+ months. That boxer shorts are the style of shorts that boxers wear. Feels pretty on the nose there, but yeah, good for you. Even after hitting rock bottom, you can still keep digging. Soft drinks are called soft drinks because they don't contain alcohol. Hard drinks do. I can actually do certain things differently than I've been doing my whole life. And often the new way is better. What is something people want to do that you think is actually incredibly stupid? Riding a motorcycle without leathers. A million things can happen so fast, and there you are, sliding down the pavement, leaving a meat schmear. Why'd you have to describe it as a meat schmear? No! Buy that shiny, newer version of the thing you already have. Exploring those small, tight caves. Extremely stupid. I'm slightly claustrophobic, and I watch those videos just to induce fear. Forgiving people who are totally unapologetic, unchanging abusers. Nope, we can't judge these people because maybe they haven't fully realized what situation they're in. Doing dumb stuff for TikTok likes. Free solo climbing is incredibly stupid. I don't care how long you've been climbing. Climbing without ropes is incredibly stupid. Gender reveals. After all of the wildfires that have happened because of them, how have we not stopped yet? Climb Mount Everest. You know, plenty of other people have done it. I don't think I need to go up there. It's just a big rock, right? What words/phrases do you hear someone say and immediately know you're probably not going to like the person? People don't like me because I tell it like it is. Oh, so you're just a raging a-hole. Got it. If a person humiliates others for the sake of boosting his own ego, I immediately stop communicating with that person. We're a family here, in a work setting. Mother effer, you just laid off Cousin Bill. I hate drama. I have never heard someone say this unsolicited and not be exhausted with their shenanigans within a day. You're so quiet. Oh yeah, cause I didn't have anything to say? Where's my hug? Immediately no. I don't know what you call that kind of behavior other than generally manipulative and creepy. Oh, I'm compelled to do this totally normal activity because my OCD/ADHD/bipolar is kicking in. Mental disorders are not a personality. Oh, that's such typical star sign behavior. I don't know, I kind of think astrology stuff is just fun and goofy. I don't take it too seriously, so it's just funny. What is the best insult response you've ever heard? My dad always tells people, I'm not as dumb as I look. He said this to someone in passing one day who replied, no one could possibly be that dumb. To this day tells me it was such a sick burn, he was left speechless. My teacher once told a kid who kept adding the silliest comments to the discourse, you make it really difficult to underestimate you. The man mistook that for a compliment because he didn't understand what it meant. My ex-mother-in-law was once having a go at me and said, you used to be a nice person. I snapped back with, well, at least I was once. Still proud of that. You truly are the top of the bell curve. My brother and I were getting driven home from school by our aunt. My brother was in 2nd grade at the time and asked my aunt, how do women get gray hairs? She said, men give you gray hairs. To which he said, you must know a lot of men. Oh my god, didn't have to murder your aunt that way. Jeez, knowledge is chasing you, but you've always been faster. Me, true story. Guy at a bar says, you look better without your glasses. Me, you look better without my glasses too. Why aren't you dating anybody right now? In my case, it's because I'm terrified of talking to people. Dating me is one of the worst versions of me. In this economy? You know, they have a point, because after all years and evidence, I am just not cut out for relationships deeper than acquaintance level. If you had met my ex, you wouldn't ask. My wife won't let me. Aw, boo-hoo, wah. Because people, what a bunch of words. A relationship just seems like it takes more than it gives. The closet is warm and comfortable. You will have to leave at some point, but only once you're good and ready. Take your time. People who used to claim your eye color changed with your mood, how are you doing in life? Really bad, Chief. Turns out I'm not special at all. F you. Why did you remind me? I like my repressed memories right where they are, thank you very much. Kinda blue, TBH. Pretty great, thanks. Not a furry, thank God, but I certainly was teetering on the edge. I don't think those correlate, but good for you. It's a pain having to change contacts all the time, but better than admitting I was wrong. Mine still turn gray when I'm in a storm on the sea. That might just be because of reflections. Never mind, you're stuck with a license that has the incorrect eye color for me listed. What's a company secret you can share now that you don't work there? Health insurance dude. When you file a claim, it is often denied because they're counting on you not escalating it. Once you do, your case goes to a medical management group, which ought to be called the We Don't Want to Pay group. Keep escalating and involve your doctor. Fight for the insurance you pay for. Oh, so fun that you pay for a service that actively tries to not do anything for you. Mortgage industry here. We're like cops. Only answer the question asked. Do not provide additional information to be helpful. It could screw you over. I worked at L'Oreal. The cosmetics from L'Oreal and Lancome are practically the same, but Lancome costs like $20 more. T-Mobile has two coverage maps. The one they show customers and the real one that is internal shows the actual coverage. Diminishes by about 50%. Their coverage is built on a bed of lies. You know, that does make some sense because I should be having really good coverage, but it's spotty at best. Diet Sprite and Sprite Zero were the exact same thing. They didn't change the recipe one bit. They just changed the name and design. In a broadband company I worked for, I was tasked with editing thousands of complaints to avoid huge OFCOM fines. I love a little bit of fraud in my corporate work. I was the one who did an undercover news story about Scamp's pet stores and their affiliation with puppy mills. Please don't buy from pet stores, folks. What's a harsh reality that everybody needs to hear? Most people should not be on social media of any kind because they cannot handle what it does to them mentally. It is not about socialization, it's about corporations monetizing your life. Whatever you say can and will be used against you. It's annoying when police tell it to you, but it is true. Some people will hurt you, and they won't care how you feel about it. It sucks, but it is true. You gotta walk your dogs. Yes, I know. Can you get off my back, please? Life is not automatically easier just because you're a good person. More often than not, I think it makes life harder, just speaking from experience. You can love someone with all of your heart and not be loved back in the same way. Celebrities and influencers need us more than we need them. It is true, if all of you went away, I would shrivel up and disappear. Please don't leave me. Just because someone is your family doesn't mean they have your best interests at heart. What currently legal thing do you expect to be illegal in the next 20 years? My ability to get married, but that's hypothetical kinda. Charities spending less than 5% of the money they are donated to the cause due to big overheads. Data privacy violations. Hopefully. We can only hope, but just because something's illegal doesn't mean it stops happening, unfortunately. Hopefully those family vlog channels on YouTube. I'm just not excited to see like the fallout of what happens to those children that have had cameras shoved in their face since the day they existed. Child marriage. Yep, no, I did in fact read that right, and it's crazy that it is technically legal. Telemarketing. God, please ban telemarketing. People who do telemarketing don't even like telemarketing. Subscription services for certain product features. It's ridiculous that one requires a sub-service to use the key fob for his/her car. BMW. Companies buying single-family homes, hopefully. Now, if it was a company buying single-family homes and selling them for pennies, then it would be fine. But no, they have to sell it for over $300,000 million. If you could place an object on the surface of Mars purely to confuse NASA scientists, what would it be? Around $200,000, a parachute, and the body of D.B. Cooper. A NASA spacecraft. One that NASA has no record of, like something they've never built, but that has NASA logo all over it and clearly has a NASA origin, just not our NASA. The missing pieces of the Rosetta Stone. Are you saying you have the missing pieces of the Rosetta Stone? Historians want to talk to you real quick. A big map of Earth with several points of interest marked on it. They don't actually have to be interesting points, just any dots on a map. That'd confuse people. A white plastic lawn chair. It can't just be a white lawn chair. You have to have a cooler with some beer in it so you know somebody's chilling up there. Simple. Velociraptor skeletons in a space shuttle. A small sign saying, "Caution, uneven surface." Wacky inflatable tube man on the highest peak. What did the pandemic ruin more than we realize? We lost a Halloween that was on a Friday with a blue moon. We ain't getting that back ever. This might just be local, but where I live, a ton of businesses closed. I mean, half of them were closed. Not just because of the shutdown, they were closed permanently. It's not just a local thing. That happened almost everywhere. The health system is wrecked. Way too many nurses got burnt out and left the profession. Independent/smaller/DIY music venues never really recovered, which is one of the bigger tragedies, I'd say, but then again, I'm a loser, so I don't know. People's driving is so out of whack. My only concern is to make it home in one piece. I don't even want to think about how many people actively went to get their driver's license during COVID because so many people didn't actually learn. The cost of living is pretty effed. Well, it's always kind of been like that. It's definitely worse though. Night shift people lives. Nothing is ever open late anymore. I'd say that has something to do with a lot of businesses cutting their staff. What's the dumbest mistake you've seen an incompetent coworker make? At a Petco, all the guinea pigs were in a big plexiglass enclosure with a center divider. Boys on one side and girls on the other. An employee decided that all the long-haired guinea pigs should be on one side and short-haired on the other. It took forever to sort them out and all the females were pregnant. Oh, that is such an unfortunate blunder. I see where they were going with it, but oh no. One of my coworkers took an order to feed 150 people and told them 2 platters of sandwiches would do. Each platter is 5 sandwiches cut into 3 bits. So at best, they'd have 30 pieces of sandwiches to feed 150 people. He doubled down on everything and had days to figure it out. If I'm being honest, I think he was just being lazy and didn't want to actually feed everyone. The designer, creative director, and head of production all missed that there was an 8-day week on a schedule. We sent 10,000 copies of a useless calendar to a client. Rightly so, they refused to pay for it. That kind of really hurts knowing that there were so many calendars made and they're just instantly trashed. When I worked construction, there was a guy who showed up with nothing in his tool belt except a small bag of peanuts in one pocket. He didn't stay around too long. Oh, I wonder why. Tried to retrieve his lighter from a deep fat fryer with his hands. Boy, that was fun to clean up. Oh my god, first off, hand ruined forever. Second, how did the lighter not explode? Third, I used to work for a landscaping company, and over the course of a summer, I witnessed one of my coworkers accidentally set 3 different things on fire. A hedge trimmer, a truck, and himself. Took the wrong coffin to a funeral. Someone else had to drive to the cemetery with the correct deceased on board, and thankfully they made it before the viewing. Oh, at least that kind of went off without a hitch. Could have been really bad. What unimpressive things are people idiotically proud of? Missing breaks at work for a company that wouldn't care if they died the next day. The best you can do is try to tell them that they're being exploited, but if they still don't hear it, I guess let them get exploited. How much money their parents make. When people try and tell me how much money their parents make, I'm like, okay, is it yours? No? Okay, why do I care? Not eating any vegetables. Known a few people state it as if it's some kind of achievement, giving themselves constipation. Drinking a lot. It's not something you should really brag about. I once had a coworker brag about how dark his pee is. Yeah, that's something you really don't want to brag about. Saying stuff like, in a land of sheep, I am the wolf. Sure thing, dude. Nothing surprises me more than when people are proud of their ignorance. What's the worst part of having a child? Ooh, I think I'm gonna like this question. It's incessant. It never stops. You never get a day off. Going from having 2 days per week to relax and do whatever to literally never having a moment free from responsibility. Why would you do it to yourself, you know? I just don't get it. The weight gain. During the pregnancy, I gained 35 pounds. My belly has stretch marks. My boobs are all saggy. And it's not even fair because my wife only gained 15. It is a little rough, but you'll hang in there, Dad. The constant anxiety society that you're doing enough to shape them to make good choices, a good life, be a good person, and for them to have the life they deserve. The days drag on, but the years fly by. You have to feed them like every day. Yeah, I have to do the same thing with my dog, and it's not the worst thing to do. Watching them make the same mistakes you did, even though you told them not to make those mistakes. Little Jimmy, if you borrow a bunch of money, those people are gonna want it back. And if they don't get it back, they'll take stuff you won't want taken. They're just always there, on you, behind you, in front of you. Just a little speed bump impeding every task, LOL. What's a modern day poison people willingly ingest? You know that cotton candy blue raz vape you just got? Yeah, that's it. Personally, I'm horrendously addicted to nicotine and it's probably killing me. No, not probably, it is. I am also in this boat, but I wish I were off of it. Those shorts videos that now are almost in every platform. If you have problems with focus and getting things done, then you know that if you keep watching them, you might end up in the next day without even realizing you haven't done anything yet. It's such a dangerous game whenever I start watching some YouTube shorts because I just keep scrolling. I can't stop. 24-hour news cycle. It does do the mind good to take a day off from really checking the news. Social media. As a lot of people have said, go touch grass. It's actually a helpful tip. Energy drinks. I mean, I know all the chemicals in there are probably gonna kill me, but I need this energy now. Work 5 to 6 days a week and having no life. Processed sugars. Now the fun part is trying to figure out what foods don't have processed sugars in them. Oh, made it through another one. Thank you all once again for watching. My name is Brandon and I will talk to you another day. Bye!